Never let anybody see you sweat.
So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with this show.
Alexis Allen claims her brother pawned a vintage guitar that belonged to her late son. Anthony Allen says the plaintiff didn't return his calls, so he sold the guitar and used the money to go to rehab.
Okay, Ms. Allen, you're suing Mr. Allen, your brother, for $25,000 for taking a guitar that did not belong to him. Tell me about the guitar and what happened. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. I am suing Anthony for $25,000. My father owned a vintage electric guitar, and he had passed it down to my son. My son, unfortunately, was killed by a drunk driver.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And thank you. And Anthony came in unbeknownst to me and went into the garage, took a bunch of stuff. Along with the stuff that he took was the vintage guitar.
Is your dad alive?
My dad, unfortunately, he also suddenly passed away 2 years ago.
Before or after your son?
Before my son, about a year before my son.
Okay. Tell me about the relationship that you have with your brother.
We don't really speak right now.
Okay, and why is that?
Because he is on drugs, and he, I can't have him near my daughter.
This is the first time you see him in how long?
It's probably been a good year or so.
All right, and you haven't talked to him during that time? When did he start doing drugs?
He started doing drugs when he was a teenager. We did have a close relationship growing up, and as he was going into high school, he just started hanging around the wrong people and started doing drugs, and we just separated. We parted ways at that time. My decisions were a lot different than his decisions at the time. And I didn't like the person that he was becoming when he did drugs. So.
And how did his drug use affect you?
It was heartbreaking to see my brother like that. And he.
Did you try to help him?
I did try to help him. As he got older and he needed rides to places, and he wasn't really allowed to come in the house anymore when we were teenagers, I would give him money because I didn't want to see him on the street. I didn't want to, be driving down the street and see him laying down on the sidewalk. So I would give him money, and then I found out that he was using it to buy drugs. And so I just stopped, and I stopped all communication with him. And it's tough love. He just has to learn to take responsibility for his actions.
How did he get into your house to take? Is the guitar the only thing he took, or did he take other things?
He took a lot of other things. Those things weren't as important. It's just the guitar was an heirloom, and it was passed down, and
What kind of guitar was it?
It was a Gibson. I do have a picture of it, and I also have an appraisal, and here's the appraisal for it. And it just serves as emotional, it's very distressful emotionally that I no longer have it. That guitar represented a link between our father and his nephew.
Your son.
And
did he know that?
He should have known it.
Well, he shouldn't be in your house without your permission.
Correct.
If you're not on speaking terms, how did he get in?
He manipulated my daughter. He
How old?
text messaged
Come on
her.
up. How old is your daughter? How old are you?
13.
Oh, geez. So tell me about the day that your uncle calls you.
He calls me and he's like, can I come over and, get some of the things? I'm like, sure, because maybe that'll help him not be so sad, and things. And I thought it was okay.
But now, did you know at that point that he had a drug problem?
Not really. I knew some things that he wasn't doing okay, but I didn't know
Did you know that your mom wasn't talking to him?
I knew that she wasn't talking to him, but I didn't know how serious it was.
And I guess the question your mom probably asked you is, why didn't you call me and tell me and let me handle it, right? And why didn't you?
Because I was just kind of like, it's fine, because that's your dad too. Well, was your dad.
Right. Okay. So did you see what he took or no?
Not really, because, yeah.
You noticed that the stuff is missing when?
I noticed it probably about maybe a few weeks after he took it. I have text messages with dates and times too, if you want to see those. And when I asked Margot, she told me that Uncle Tony came in and was taking stuff out of the garage, which really upset me. It was just very heartbreaking.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
I went in there because she wouldn't take my phone calls. I was under the impression that the stuff belonged to both of us. And I felt like even if I tell her that I'm doing something good, she's just gonna trigger me to go back and get high again.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Alexis Allen, who is fighting with her brother Anthony Allen for pawning her deceased son's vintage guitar.
The stuff in the garage belonged to your father, mostly?
Mostly.
Other
yes.
than that guitar, which you say belonged to your son at that point?
Correct.
Why was it in the garage with all the grandfather stuff?
It was in the garage because when he passed away, I went and gathered all of his things. They were in boxes, and I put them in the garage because some of it I just wanted to.
So some of your son's stuff was in the garage too?
Yes.
When you keep saying he, and unfortunately you've had 2 deaths in the family, I don't know which death you were
I
referring to
understand.
right now.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I apologize.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. It's just really, it is devastating. So when my father passed away, I went to the house and I went to his house and I got a lot of his stuff out, put it in the garage because I didn't know what I wanted to donate. I didn't know what I wanted to keep.
Okay, and now here's my question. How many children did your father have? Just the 2 of you?
Just the 2 of us.
Okay. And did your father have a will? Or did he die without a will?
He did not have a will,
right,
Your Honor.
So then, legally speaking, the stuff belongs to both of you. And did he ever ask you, hey, where is all of Dad's stuff? Or
He never did, no. And he didn't have a place to put it.
She was what?
She won't take my phone calls.
In all of the, even,
Your
okay,
Honor.
but hold on. Were you guys still talking to each other after Dad died or no?
No, not necessarily, not really. After Dad died, she started just like not taking my phone calls anymore. She was mad. She says I was spending all the money on drugs. I wasn't using.
Were
it.
you?
No, I wasn't.
Your Honor, he was.
Tell me your story.
Okay, I did have and I still do have a drug problem, and I'm working my way to make it better. But the reason why I went and got that stuff was because when I found out how much the rehab was, it was way out of my budget. I couldn't afford it, and that was the only thing that I knew at the time. And so I went in there because she wouldn't take my phone calls. My niece told me that I can come by and grab some things. I was under the impression that the stuff belonged to both of us. So and I did not know that guitar was an heirloom handed down to my nephew Marquise. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken it. My total intention was to pay for my rehab so that I could show that I'm doing better. And I felt like even if I tell her that I'm doing something good, she's just gonna trigger me to go back and get high again.
Okay, does she have an email? Does she have a phone? You have her phone number? You couldn't text her and say, hey, that's half my stuff. I want to take some things. Can you tell me what I can take? Let's see if we can agree. You couldn't do that rather than hit up the 13-year-old and go when mom's not home?
But I could have done that. But again, I felt like I didn't want to deal with her at that time. I was thinking of everything else but to deal with the truth of my situation. I was just focused on trying to get into this rehab so that I can prove to everybody that I'm doing better. And
Did you go to the rehab?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you in rehab?
I was in rehab I'm still in rehab, but it's been.
Is it residential or?
It's residential, and I've been clean for 4 months. I've been in the rehab for 9 months.
Who's the gentleman with you?
This is my counselor, Leo Martinez.
Come on up, front and center, Mr. Martinez. It's all right, you don't have to move. Are you familiar with his case?
Your Honor, yes, I am. My name is Leo Martinez. I am a rehabilitation coordinator. I've been working in recovery for a little over 10 years, and I met Tony, I'm sorry, we call him Tony, Anthony, about a year ago. He was not in a very good state when I met him. He was, as he mentioned, he recently lost his father. Later, he lost his nephew, and his old patterns of behavior returned. Since I have been working with him, he has really worked on being honest, and I noticed that that was his commitment from the beginning. He was at his lowest, and I think he came to the conclusion that his two choices were death or recovery. And in that time, he's become a volunteer at our facility. He has commitments at meetings, and he's working his recovery program, I would say fearlessly and honestly. We did talk earlier in his recovery about this situation with him trying to figure out a way to pay for his recovery program. I did advise him to be as transparent and honest as possible. You know, I don't know all the details of the situation. I only know what I'm told.
Do you consider the going in with the 13-year-old's permission instead of speaking to the sister, even if she won't take his calls, you know, texting her or something? Do you consider how he got his hands on the guitar and the other items open, honest, transparent?
So I can only suggest.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm
yes,
asking you what your opinion is.
In my opinion, I would probably ask him to do a little bit of writing about that. But I personally would not see that as a transparent and honest way of approaching it.
Coming up.
You know, I'm sorry that we're going through this, but you have to realize that life is all about choices, and the choices that you make, you need to be responsible for.
We're back with the case of Alexis Allen, who is fighting with her brother Anthony Allen for pawning her deceased son's vintage guitar.
Did you know that he was in rehab, that he has been in rehab for 4 months?
I did not, Your Honor.
How does it make you feel to hear that?
I'm proud of you, Anthony, and I love you. And, you know, I'm sorry that we're going through this, but you have to realize that life is all about choices. And the choices that you make, you need to be responsible for, and that's pretty much what led us here. So I wish you the best.
Thank
you know,
That's why I'm here, Your Honor, because this is part of my rehab. I have to, you know, address all my problems head on. And the fact that she wouldn't even take my calls, this is the first time I even had a conversation with my sister.
How does it make you feel to speak to your sister here?
It's different, mixed emotions. I feel really good, but at the same time, my heart hurts a lot. My whole thing was just to be able to come in here and have a conversation and to get my part out without any bias. It would be hard to have a conversation with her. She just won't listen to me.
Well, you know, I think in fairness, she was disappointed in you.
Yes.
And it's not like you didn't give her big cause to be disappointed. And at some point, her grief is too much to share with you, because then her son was killed. It was just too much. She just couldn't.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
If I may add something also. Tony has a disease. Addiction is a disease, and in our society, it's stigmatized, and people don't give it the same kind of empathy. They might give something like cancer, for example. It is every bit as deadly, and it's every bit as serious. And Tony came to us essentially to save his own life.
Coming up.
I've heard him apologize time and time again, and it's, you know, after you hear somebody apologize, but then they don't change, I feel like that they don't want to change.
We're back with the case of Alexis Allen, who is fighting with her brother Anthony Allen for pawning her deceased son's vintage guitar.
I understand what you're saying. You're doing God's work. I understand what you're saying. You're doing the work of a mother and your own work, because you can't deal with that. You have enough to deal with. I get that. And I commend you for taking all the right steps. Did you ever think there'd be a time where he'd be, remember, he said 4 months clean. He didn't say, I've been clean 9 months, I had one relapse. He said, I've been clean 4 months. He knows exactly what the relapse means. But the counselor knows that it's important for you and I to know that it was 9 months that he's been in there and we had one relapse. None of that makes a difference to my ruling, of course.
Right.
But I have a brother, and I see the torment that you have gone through, and I am glad that he wanted to come here, fess up, and let you know how he's doing. I don't know that it's going to make a difference to you.
It does.
Good.
It does. So I feel like the decisions that I made in the past were simply because I've heard him apologize time and time again, and it's, after you hear somebody apologize, but then they don't change, I feel like that they don't want to change.
And so now, how do you feel
believing.
hearing everything that you have learned today? How do you feel?
I'm willing to give you another chance, Anthony. You have to prove. If you can stay in rehab for a full year, I'll let you come over to the house and you can spend time with Margot.
That's my win, Your Honor.
Okay, good, because you're about to lose big.
Judge Milian's verdict when Justice for the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
How, if the appraisal of the guitar was $21,398.93, why are you suing for $25,000, which is the jurisdictional maximum? What makes up the difference?
Emotional distress, Your Honor. I was very distressed that he was able to manipulate my teenage daughter.
I mean, I looked at the text. He asked,
Right.
She said yes. And why she said yes? 2 reasons. She was hoping it would make him less sad. God bless you, darling. She was hoping it would make him less sad, and she figured, oh, that stuff's half his. Now, I'm going to order Mr. Anthony to pay back the $21,398.93. That's what I'm going to order. I don't know when or how he's going to pay that, but that's what you've asked me to do, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the value of the guitar, enter a judgment in your favor. Maybe in the future, if you guys have a relationship, you can actually have him work off the $21,398.93 that I am ruling in your favor on.
Thank you, Judge.
Rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $21,398.
I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting.